Flores tackle.
Head up on him a touch, Kev. Big smile, boys.
Hi, I'm Kevin Nash.
And I'm Alan Blair. It's coming to the end of our year on the big pit and we've had some right good results, haven't we, Kev?
We have.
It's been brilliant.
Come to good in the end.
Anyway, enough of us. Sit back and enjoy Nash 2014. There's plenty more beautiful fish to be seen.
Went into work this morning, weather wasn't looking that good. I watch it every day because I've just been waiting for summer to start. I just love hunting and stalking and surface fishing. That's my thing. We haven't had a summer yet, but I looked out the office midday and it was warmer than they predicted. Wind's a bit light, but a good chance to fish the riser and hunt them, which is what me and Anne love doing best. So I spoke to him about his workload and my workload, and we pulled a stroke. We've nicked 3 or 4 hours off to come over this club lake, and we're going to work this evening. Plan is simple. We're going to fish as a team. The best way to fish riser pellet is get upwind and keep pulting it in a steady stream down the drift. So that's what I'm doing, but of course the fish are down the bottom of the drift, taking it off the surface. So I'm going to fish from this end with zigs, one say a foot below. I might even bring one up to the surface as well with a riser imitation, but I'll tell you about that in a minute because I want to get the rods out because these carp are beginning to drop. I honestly believe the riser pellet is the most lethal bait in carp fishing. On its day, of course, it's got to be a day when the fish will come up in the surface layers or to the top. But it don't necessarily have to be on the top, and that's the point of using the zig bugs. Riser pellet just attracts them up to the top. If there is a cold chill on the surface, they may not come up and actually take off the surface, but you'll certainly nail them on the zigs underneath. And really begin the show, and Alan down the other end, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he soon starts picking them up on the control on the surface. A zig doesn't have to necessarily be fished mid-water. I put one 9 inches below the surface and one actually in the surface film. The zig bug I'm fishing 9 inches below the surface, that's a louse. I have to say it's my favourite pattern. I've caught so many carp on it. I'm sure I would have caught them on the other zig bugs, but you just get confident in something, so you use it a lot, don't you? Now, the one on the surface I think I mentioned is a riser pellet imitation. That is lethal. Alan's been using that a lot with the controllers on the surface, but there's no reason why we can't use it with a zig rig as well. Both are flavoured. Beetle juice on my louse and the shrimp juice on the riser pellet one. Setup wise, there's an awful amount of blanket weed in here, clogging up the leads and everything. So I want to discharge the lead. I don't want to have a lead stuck 9 foot down on my hook link. So I'm using the weed safety bolt beads. That's an example of how effective this method is. That rod's literally been out 3-4 minutes. And you know what? It could be a reasonable fish. Yeah, he did out. I only cast it out 3-4 minutes ago. Oh, this is just such an amazing method, isn't it? How you doing down there?
There's a lot of fish about. They're a bit finicky at the moment, but yeah, that drift's working really well, Kev. What I've noticed is you've got a lot of fish quickly coming up the drift and feeding, you know, closer to you than right down on the bottom. Yeah, that's because
I'm trying to keep them away from you. I'm so good at feeding them. I watch them. If they start drifting towards you, I just stop feeding.
It sounds like I'm going to have to get some floaters out.
A bigger controller. Cast it up this end. This lake seems slightly familiar. This is the club lake that we showed in the Zig feature last year. First time I ever fished it, and I had the lake's big common. But this is the first time I've been back since. There's also a big mirror in there that's gone 40. And wouldn't that be bizarre? His lucky Nashy got the big mirror. I take Adam fishing with me because he's my pest controller. I let him catch all the little ones and I just catch the big one.
I don't mind, eh, mate?
You love it,
I love bending the rods, like.
I once said to him, what would you rather have? A 50-pounder or 10 good 20s? He said 10 good 20s. So we are a great team. So there's a good tip for you veterans. Find a young lad, he can carry all your tackle for you. You catch your big one, and he keeps the little ones off you. I'll tell you what, this thing's fighting. I'm going to shut up now. And I'm beginning to shake and get nervous. Yeah, and that's a wonderful thing, isn't it? I can still, after 40 years. Oh.
Certainly kicking up plenty of swirls. Still taking, it's crazy. Really got them going. Really have got them going.
I'll tell you what now, this ain't going to be over for another minute or two. Do us a favour, get some more riser, keep them feeding.
They really are coming up.
But you know the score, you've got to keep them feeding. Proper food cooking this. Gutted. I lost it. That was a good fish. Well, they're still troughing, so hooking that fish didn't spook them. Got the rods back out now. I might look okay, but I can tell you I am absolutely gutted. That was a really good fish. Really good fish. Alan, I'm in again, mate. I can't stress much how lethal this approach is. I've now been fishing half an hour. You see me lose an absolute chunk, and already I'm into another fish. And let's make no mistake, you know, this lake isn't the hardest in the world, but
you're not messing about.
Yeah, equally, it's not the easiest either. The guy left us where he was arriving. He'd done 3 days and blanked. Yeah. I'm not trying to say, look at me, the big I am. I'm just trying to put across that this method is so effective. This fish is not as big as that other one. I can tell you that now.
Nice one.
Is it? Mm. Oh, Adam just told me it's a nice one.
Pretty, like.
Pretty. Oh, it's not big.
Does it matter then they're not massive?
Well, if they're pretty and massive, then that's perfect. Otherwise, I go for pretty. Well, I was happy to get that one in after losing the other one. Thanks, Al.
Well done, mate.
What a cracking old wire. Not a bad consolation for that chunk I lost before, eh? Pleased with this one. Should we see the other side? Quick photo of the other side and then we'll put her back. Probably go eat another zigbuck. Enough, Mr. Cameraman? Touch under 25, I'm being told. I didn't expect it to be that heavy. I must be eating more spinach nowadays.
Well, Kev's had a couple of bites already, but that pellet's drifted down far enough now that it's sort of stopped here. The wind's really died off, and I've just hooked my first fish on a little bolt machine, probably about 40 yards out towards the middle of the lake, 40, 50 yards. You know, as Kev said, he does like catching the big uns. For me, I can't beat this. You know, drifting a bit of riser and some floaters out over the lake, watching those backs break the surface of the water. You know, and then when it comes up and takes a look in one, it's just, I love it. It's brilliant. Excellent, love it. So first fish of the session for me. I've taken it on the bolt machine and it's absolutely engulfed a hook bait. Just goes to show that when you do get them feeding confidently, you can get some really good hook holds when surface fishing. You know, this one's nailed. It's taking it right back. What I'm using here is a little floater bug, and this one actually imitates a dog biscuit. So in with my bucket of riser pellet, I've mixed in some floating pellets, some dog biscuits and a bit of zig juice just for added oil and flavour. And like I said, this one's taking it right back. Just pop that out, and there it is there. So you've got a lovely colour there to imitate, you know, a pedigree chum mixer or the like. And mounted underneath that, you've got a size 8 uni hook. Yeah, great way of catching a few fish.
Just had another one, pretty little ghost mirror. It's now 3 in an hour.
Well, I've managed to sneak another couple out while Win and Ollie have been up there filming Kev. The wind's almost stopped now and the riser pellets ended up in this part of the lake. There's quite a few fish down here. Mopping up the last bit of the drift. I don't think we're going to hang around for much longer. It's been a great afternoon. Kev's had a few bites, I've had a few bites. It's just been good fun. And when you're catching fish as pretty as this, it doesn't get a lot better. Like I said, I got another one in the net. It was a bit hectic. I was just laying both rods on the deck and I looked around and the clutch was going, yeah, and I leant into the fish. And actually, while I was playing this one, the other rod went off, and I've managed to slip them both in the net. And there's the second part of a quick brace. Another absolutely gorgeous carp. It can be such a productive way of sort of floater fishing like this, you know, laying a couple of rods on the deck, and that is the other beauty of the bulk machines. Allows you to fish more than one rod, certainly keep the feed going in. Nice fish. I'm going to get this slip back, and then I'm going to show you these bulk machines. What a lovely little carp. Just before I get this cast back out, I'll quickly show you the bulk machine and the setup I'm using. It's very, very simple. There's 3 sizes in the range. A real small, cute one for sort of close range work, real intimate fishing. There's a medium size, and then there's the absolute daddy to get you right out to the middle of the lake, to those areas where it's unlikely that it's probably ever been floated fished before. Really, really simple to set up. You can just slide the plastic sprue in the body down your main line and tie a swivel on. The swivel then plugs into the grommet at the bottom. Very, very simple. They've been designed in such a way that you can interchange them. It allows me to take the body off and put a lighter or a heavier one on, depending on where I want to get to. On top of the bulk machine, there's a foam cylinder. A great little tip here, you can actually soak these in your chosen flavour or oil. I've got a number sort of soaked up ready to go here. It means before I cast out, I can quickly drop another one in, get it out on the spot. It does 2 things. Firstly, it can put a flat spot on the area, so it allows you to see your setup better if you want to actually watch the fish taking the bait. And secondly, it's obviously putting a load more added attraction into the swim. Its other main purpose is it's a sight aid, so if you want to actually watch your float out there, you can put a black one in or an orange one. It really depends on the light levels and what's easiest for you to see. Just to finish my rig off, I've got a nice long hook link here. It really depends on how the fish are feeding. Some people like to fish it very, very short. I personally prefer to fish it at least 1 metre long, just to keep that hook bait away from the bulk machine. But yeah, some zig flow line here, sits nicely on top of the water. And finally, I've got a hook bait. Hook bait choice is really up to you. Kev's been drifting the riser pellet down, so on one rod I've got the imitation riser pellet hook bait. This is an imitation dog biscuit, but really you can use anything, a pop-up, a marshmallow. You can hair rig a dog biscuit if you like. The choices are endless. Anyway, going to get this back out on the spot and see if we can nick one more fish before we go. And here's the end of our quick afternoon session. Final beautiful little carp. It's been a great afternoon. Get out there, give it a go yourself, find a mate who's up for it, and get out there with a bucket of riser pellet and get it drifting down across the lake. I'm here today to show you our awesome new range of airframe sleep systems for 2014. The last couple of years saw us really focus our attention on how we could deliver a product that not only worked exceptionally well in the colder months, but all year round. And I feel we've really delivered a range now that will see you right through all the seasons of the year. I'm going to start off by talking about the frame. Obviously the frame in any bed is really important, it's what's supporting everything. And a lot of attention's paid to the design of ours to ensure it stands the test of time. We use full oval bars all the way around, which ensures it's strong, rigid and doesn't flex and twist when in use. The hand wheels are gone. We've now got these big double hinges either end, head and foot section. Not only does it take away some of the bulk and the weight by not having the hand wheels there anymore, but it allows you to fold the whole product up really compact and flat. Sits brilliantly on the barrow. The bed's now lay completely flat. If you do want to incline it, just simply adjust the leg mechanism on the head section and you can adjust it to whatever height you want to give you the comfortable night's sleep you require. Moving up from the frame, you've got the mattress. Interestingly, about 3 years ago we changed our mattress design. We've now got a patented system where we're using a mesh base, and this does a couple of really important things. First of all, in the summer months, because of the mesh, it eliminates any moisture and damp underneath, which is generally just really unhygienic. As well as that, it's creating a maximum amount of airflow. It also reduces an amount of weight, making the overall bed chair a little bit lighter. On top of this mesh base, we fix on a real luxurious mattress, and it features high density foam. But importantly, on top of that, you've got a deep pile hollow fill topper, I suppose, making it just so nice to touch. The whole thing's coated in a peachy cotton type feel fabric that just makes for a really comfortable night's sleep. It's a sleep system product, which means it's got 2 duvet layers that are fixed on top of the bed chair all the way around the skirt. Again, a patented system, and it allows you to customise the layering to the time of year you're fishing in and the conditions that you're fishing in. Interestingly, this year we added on a development that we put onto our sleeping bags last year, and that's the climate control baffles that run all the way down the full length of your body. And it basically works on the same principle as the mountaineering style bags. They're real narrow in design, meaning that when you get into them, instantly you're warming up that little void around you. Unlike a conventional cart type sleeping bag, which is very large, and when someone like myself gets in it, I've got these huge voids to the left and right of me that I've got to warm up before I'm actually warm. As I mentioned, it's 2 layers, so you can zip an additional layer on for when it gets really cold. However, when it isn't so cold, i.e. in the summer months, you can detach that and you can keep that safely at home for when you need it when it does get cold again in the winter months. There's a few bolt-ons for this year's range to really make them an incredible all year round product. First up is the Air Shield underlay blanket. This is a blanket that when you remove your main mattress, you can lay it on underneath. It fits in place where the Velcro tabs are, securely to the mesh base. You can then put your main mattress back on top of it, and of course in the winter months when it is cold, it adds an additional layer of insulation to your sleep system. It also doubles up as a brilliant summer blanket. We've got a range of pillows. And the final product is the air shroud. It's 100% waterproof, PU coated, with a hydrostatic head of 10,000, meaning that you can do nights under the stars, no issues at all. And when you're fishing under single skin shelters or under an umbrella in the damp weather, you're not going to get cold and damp yourself in the under layers. If you actually flip the shroud over and look at the underside of it, it's got another layer of deep fill, hollow fill, and then a layer of that lovely peach skin with the real cottony feel to it. I've slept on that light mattress with that light shroud over the top of me. It's meant that I can pack up, everything's compact and light for the time of the year when I'm fishing most actively. I'm getting up early in the morning, moving spots, etc. Another point I've got to mention about the air shroud, a real cool but yet practical element, is these two little eyelets in the corner. You know, you can simply take a 48-inch storm pole, add a little U-rest onto it, jack up the side you're looking out of, and spend a real pleasant night under the stars. If you're out in the depths of winter, you can load it all the way up and be extremely warm. However, if you're fishing and active through the summer and you want a really comfortable night's sleep, strip it all back, leave some layers at home, sleep on the blanket, just use the shroud, customise it to your own requirements. There's 5 models in the range, the SS3 and the SS3 wide, that's the short-legged version. Then you've got the SS4 and the SS4 wide with the longer legs, and finally the big beast, the Emperor. There really is something for everyone in the Airframe Sleep System range. Well worth checking it out, guys, and if you get the opportunity, jump inside just to see how comfortable and cosy they really are.
Hi, I'm Alfie. You joined me here today on one of my local London park lakes. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. I've had a little walk around already and I've just seen some fish behind this hedge. So I'm going to set up a little rod and see if I can nick a quick bite before I have another walk around. Right, that's one rig in position now. I was a little bit hesitant when I put it out because there's actually quite a number of fish down there now and the bottom's a bit stirred up. A couple bubbles are popping up to the surface, so if one of them's hungry for that little pop-up, we should be in with a chance of nicking a fish quickly. So I'm going to see how it goes for now. I can see my hook bait, so I'm going to watch it, see if a shadow comes over it and picks it up. Well, I got that little rod out, just plopped it a couple of feet off the edge where I saw some fish. I'm looking now and a few of them have moved further down the bank. So yeah, I think I'm going to set up another little rod, maybe try a different bait on it this time. Maybe a little boilie or a little piece of baked corn. Rain. It's raining. Well, that's the setup I'm going to be using. 2 grains of mutant corn, just with a little split shot on a KD style rig, size 8 Fang X, and a little bag of pellet and some fish meal ground bait, and a little 1.5 ounce drop off lead. Well, it looks like after that little shower we had, the fish have been pushed a little bit further out than my margins, so I think I'm going to reel the rods in and go for a little stalk. As you can see, when I've retrieved this rig, there's loads of silkweed and dead leaves around the hook. That's why I opted for the little light lead and the longer hook link with the 2 bits of balanced corn, just so it sits and settles on any old rubbish that's lying on the lake bed. Well, I've just had a little walk. I've come to the other end of the lake now. Just in a little stalking hole now. Where the sun isn't up, I can't quite see any movement or any shapes of fish in the edge. But there is a couple out there sunning themselves. So I'm gonna walk up a tiny bit more, see if I can see anything. But so far it's looking like there's a few fish in the area. Yeah, I'm gonna trickle a little bit of bait in this edge and then come check it in an hour or so, see if any fish have visited the spot, and hopefully by then the sun would have moved, it would be on this spot, we could see clearly what's been going on. There's quite a few fish cruising around, so I think it's looking good. Just drop a few little baits in the edge where they've been fizzing, see if we can nick a bite. There's still fish in the area. Managed to get rigs in without spooking them. There's still a couple feeding, but they've pushed out just that little bit more. When I got it, quickly dropped singles on them as they was feeding, like the 2 grains of corn and a little pop up. I think just tied up a little bag. I think maybe that extra little bit of scent might just draw one closer to the hook bait, as they're grubbing on some of the naturals and just sieving through all the silt and stuff, and they're gaining something from it, otherwise they wouldn't be eating it. But hopefully that little mouthful should be a little bit more attractive to them. One just rolled out there again. So let's get it out there. Well, I've been sat here for about an hour now. I was fishing little single hook baits, just dropping them in front of a couple feeding fish, but that didn't induce a bite, so I thought I'd throw a couple handfuls of pellet, hook a little bag on, and as soon as the pellet went in, fish come in to the swim, started grubbing about and fizzing. Still I haven't had a bite yet, don't know why, I've been sitting on my hands. But I've just rebaited the swim as there's bubbling and fizzing for about an hour, and I think it's looking good. The sun's gone down a bit, the temperature's dropped by a degree or 2, so it's just a matter of time. I say, it was just a matter of time. Gave it a little while, the fish come back on the spot after that fresh baiting, and it's ripped off. Well, there's the proof. A beautiful well-parked Lake Common. Caught it in the edge on 2 pieces of Newton sweet corn. Lovely old fish. There's just something about these Park Lake fish that no other fish have. Every fish has its own little character and looks like it's got an own little story to it. Beautiful. After catching that little angry common, it's beat up my rig slightly, so I've just got a new one out. I'm going to tie it on. Nailed it on the 2 little pieces of Newton corn. The lead ejected safely, so the setup works a treat. I'm going to get it out there while there's a few fish still milling about. See if we can nick another one quickly. Well, after catching that little common from the opposite bank, I've come for a walk. After catching it, I didn't see another fish, no movement, no bubbles, nothing. Come round here, sort of haven't seen nothing either. The light levels have dropped massively, so seeing them's quite hard. I can hear thunder in the distance, so I think I'm going to do a very quick lap of the lake and see if I can get settled down for the night. Well, I was planning on staying for the night, but the rain's torrential and it looks like setting until the morning. I'm gonna call it a day, but you never know, there's always tomorrow.
We were first placed on this planet as hunters. Thousands of years of so-called civilization has tempered that basic generic trait. But for some of us, the desire to hunt still burns inside, and hunting is the ethos of Kevin Nash's carp fishing approach. Rather than camping out in ambush, hoping that a fish may come along, he takes the more certain and mostly speedier alternative of seeking out his quarry. With the hunter awakened, you become aware of your surroundings and in tune with nature. Stealth and concealment become instinctive, and the ability to cover ground easily, without fatigue, essential. Rods and luggage have been made smaller with no detrimental effect. In fact, it has brought about huge benefits. Scope has kicked off a tackle revolution, as more and more anglers get the fact that 9 and 10 foot rods aren't just for stalking. You can do virtually everything with a 9 foot rod that you can do with a 12 or 13 footer. and in many cases you can do it a lot better. The scope ethos of mobility in compact equipment is now our focus for future developments. Sometimes you get stuck in a rut and can't see the wood for the trees. Kevin realised that this happened with cart rods over the years, as we sought the extreme distance that we rarely needed to achieve. He recognised not only the advantage, but also the pleasure of downsizing back in the 1990s, when a 9-foot stalking rod of his was swapped for 3 of the same, but not as stalkers, as fishing rods, 4-ounce bolt rigs, PVA bags and all. He found it so much easier to make the necessary precision casts under far margin trees, and playing fish was a dream. Kevin just felt so much more in control and was quite surprised at how far he could chuck with them. The furthest cast he needed was 120 yards or so, and he was doing that with his 9-footers with ease. So quite why he got his 12-footers out again is anyone's guess. A couple of years ago, while undertaking the challenge of new water, which was a wilderness of some 3 miles around and struggling through bramble, reeds and rush, memories of the 9-footers came back. The eureka moment of retracting the butt came to him as the obvious answer, and so the scope was born. Now Kevin had the cutest of rod skins, and he could float through the undergrowth, above quiver and rod skin grabbing thorns. The performance of the rod is one thing, but the package length and the ability to miniaturise your gear is a revelation. Now you don't need an estate car or a van for all of your kit, or a barrow to transport it. And you needn't worry about theft either. The scope can hide in the boot of your car, safe from prying eyes, and ready to use on the slightest whim. With the size of your gear minimised, everything is so much easier, and time can be optimised by moving around, following the carp, or even taking advantage of a lunch break. Sitting by a park lake eating your sandwich and spotted a fish feeding, just get a scope out and catch it. Scope is not only the preference of the series carp angler, but also of anglers fishing around the world for species as diverse as bass, catfish and sharks. Scope is a lifestyle. Kevin had been testing a 4.5 pound scope, originally with spotting in mind, but then he made another discovery. The sensitivity felt through it was immense. This rod is a big step forward in feature finding, for a simple reason that the transmission through a 12-foot rod is dampened considerably, whereas with a 9-foot 4.5 pound scope, it's amazing how much more you can feel. We predict that this will be the trend for the future of marker rods, and it also makes a great heavy-duty fishing rod for species such as pike and catfish. If you're a globetrotter, a scope offers you a package short enough to travel, but without the disadvantages of loss of performance that you'd experience with the telescopic or multi-joint travel rods. We're enhancing this philosophy with the launch of a 6-foot scope, which measures a diminutive 29 inches when retracted. For a day or evening on the move, we are especially proud of the new scope backpack, designed and thoroughly tested by Kevin Nash with the nomadic angler in mind. The special lightweight aluminium frame ensures that the pack clears your back, giving you full support and ventilation. Anglers understand that scope rods aren't just short-range tools, they are equally as effective at distance, so we're delighted to announce the addition of our 1 and 2 rod scope big pit rod skins. Finally, we turned our attention to bivvies, and now the session angler can extend the compact scope ethos to his shelter. The S-Pod is lightweight and ultra compact. It is micro in size, but easily roomy enough to accommodate the focused angler in his kit. It provides all-weather protection and rapid breakdown to move quickly and hunt. Scope for the future.
Hello, my name's Carl Smith.
And my name's Alex. We've been fishing for around 7 years now, and since we started we've just really loved it.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting you to stop there. Hello, my name's Carl Smith.
And my name's Alex. We've been fishing for around 7 years, and since we started we've just loved it.
When we started, our parents had never fished, but they took us to the local lakes. We fished for roach on the float, that sort of thing, and gradually we just taught ourselves simple methods, and more recently we've sort of progressed to carp fishing. We started filming our sessions about 4 years ago on a little handy camera, and I actually decided that we were going to put them up on YouTube.
Yeah, and we wanted to share our experiences and our adventures of the sessions we had on the bank or on the river.
So yeah, we're in a privileged position today because obviously Nash cameras are here with us. So the pressure's off in terms of filming, but pressure's on in terms of us having to go and see if we can catch a carp. So I think that's what we should do.
Yep, definitely.
Let's do it.
We're off the Tanyard fishery. It's our local commercial fishery, and some of the lakes there are stunning. We've arrived at Tanyard. We've chosen to fish Specimen Lake 1. Mainly it's got some stunners in here, but there's 7 lakes here, and we've had a few, haven't we, Carl?
Well, in the past we've done a bit of stalking down here. I had a really nice 23-pound mirror recently. I was proper happy with that, but I mean that's a bit above average size for this place. Expecting a few sort of pretty scaly smaller carp, but yeah, the sun's blazing down on us today, and I think stalking is going to be the way during the day. But
yeah.
Shall we bait up some spots for the night?
Yeah, I think we'll bait up some spots for this evening and tonight, so when they go down on the bottom. But for now, I think stalking's the way forward.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get our stuff and we'll get set up.
Let's get fishing.
Right, so we've set up the bivvy now. We were thinking about putting out some bottom bait rods, but if I'm honest, we've seen so many moving around near the surface, I just can't imagine them feeding hard in this weather on the bottom. So we're going to go stalking. Just got my 9-foot dwarf rod, little reel full of 10-pound line, and on the end I've just tied on a size 8 gaper hook, nice and wide gape, and I'd say that's going to be perfect popping on 3 little grains of corn to to make them sink a bit slower, I just squeeze them out a little bit. That'll allow it just to flutter down through the water as it sinks. Give me more time to tempt that carp as it drifts down in front of its face. I'll squeeze out that last grain, hook it on, and that's it. I'll just go around dropping that in front of fish, fluttering it down in front of their noses, and every now and then one of them takes it. So we'll give it a little go and see if we can catch one. His head's right underneath the pads.
Sweet corn. Yummy bait. You can eat it and you can fish it.
Did it? What, you've already had two? Two bites? Oh, right. Oh, wicked. Nothing's gone for mine yet. Nothing at all. Really? No, nothing's even gone down for mine yet. Right, so we're just approaching Specimen Lake 2. This is sometimes where I see some fish in this little bay here. Yeah, there's a couple out there. Let's give it a go. Yes, guys. Alex!
Yeah?
I'm in!
Go on.
Oh my god, it's a oh, sugar. Sugar. It's a chunk. Oh, sugar. No, 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 no. No. Oh my god, yeah. It's decent, eh? It's grabbed a net, yeah. Oh my god, it's a chunk.
Yeah.
Don't worry about getting weed. It's so far around this corner. I can't believe it. It was like second fish I put it in front of.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sounds good. Have a look here.
It's decent,
I
Alex.
can see it, I can see it.
Is it stuck?
Yeah.
Completely?
I know.
Does it look like it can come out of there?
Yeah, look, it's going through under there.
This is a beast, Alex.
It didn't look massive.
When it took it, it looked like a 20. Alex, it's seriously, you got to go in quick. Yeah,
Gotta
quick.
take this off.
Quick. Oh yeah, go on then. You just jump in, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
Shall I go in as well?
No, fine.
Hello. Can't believe it. Especially two, probably the harder lake on the fishery. And I put a bait in front of what, the second fish I saw? Slurped it straight in. Only problem is it's gone and wedged itself in a bit of weed, but Alex, my brother,
Playing it more direct now.
has jumped in after it. Come on, net slave. Oh yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yep.
Don't, yeah. Is it in?
Yes!
Is it really in the net?
There's a lot of weed though.
Oh my god! Yes!
That is quite big as well. Shame I had to go in though.
It got a bit wet. Alright, you wouldn't mind giving me a hand here, would you?
Nice one.
There we go. Still a bit of corn left on that hook. Just get a bit of water on it. Getting a drenching. Okay, what does that say?
24 exactly.
24.
Exactly.
Exactly, what? I've equalled my personal best, but this time with a mirror. Alright. Right, well, here we go. Here's the result of a bit of stalking. £24 on the dot, equalled my PB, and I'd say that's a pretty decent fish. Oh, I'm proper happy with that. A lovely, lovely mirror, and that was taken on the corn just as it was sinking. Put it in front of a common, it wasn't interested. Put it in front of this little fella, and it slurped it up. Wonderful fight and a wonderful fish. Excellent. All right.
Cargo on. Yep. Yeah.
See it coming towards me. Cool.
Right.
Sorry. Here's a common. Come on.
How big is it?
Don't know, but it is.
Where are you going to net it from?
Oh, I think I was going to go in here.
I'll go in actually.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your shoes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a nice hard bottom here, right? Where's the line? Don't worry. Get up. Yes.
Come on, Carl. Yeah.
Lovely fish on this boiling hot day, but a method that catches them when they're on the top.
Oh, wicked fish, Alex.
It is lovely, isn't it?
He's a pretty one. Awesome, well done, buddy.
Hello.
You got it?
I thought it was foul hooked. Ready? Yeah, plunge the net quite deep. Go for it, lift it. Yeah, yes, yeah. Come on. Third fish in a day. Oh, that's just
I'll quickly go in and get the weed out.
Right. Oh, look at that. Just coming to evening time now and just saw a patch of bubbles coming up and flicked the corn over it. The line just twitched slightly and bam, I was in.
That is a stunning.
Oh, that's a nice one, isn't it?
Yeah,
right, you can lift the net out, thanks. Ooh. There we go. That's not a bad fish. Probably the prettiest one of the day. A lovely, lovely carp. And it's not quite as big as the other one, but I'm just as happy with it because look at those scales. Isn't that an amazing looking fish? Do you want to kiss it, Alex? No. No? Right, there's the other side, but it's been quite a hard day stalking today. It's been really, really warm. And in a way, the heat has made it hard for us. So we've been so sweaty and horrible, but finally got this lovely carp, and I think what we'll do now is we'll go back, have a bit to eat and get the bottom bait rods out. Anyway, let's pop this absolute beauty back. Magic.
we're just going to make up some PVA bags because we're going to put these rods out for the night. I've just got some maize pellets. I think Carl's going to make a PVA bag.
Yeah, I'm just going to squeeze up some monster squids into here.
Yeah.
Just a few crushed up ones. Add a bit of attraction to my hook bait, really. During the day I don't bother, but in the night I want that bit of smell and attraction to draw them down to the hook bait when they can't necessarily see it.
And there I've just got a small bag. I'm just going to thread that onto my hook length so the hook won't be showing to get caught on any weed. It's ready to go. Well, what a day it's been. We've had 3 fish. Carl's had 2, I've had 1. All of them were stunners. I mean, we come down here for 2 nights and have 1 fish. We've come down for just an afternoon and we've had 3.
The weather's been good, the sun's been out, it's got the carp sort of moving around on the surface, and because they've been near the surface we've been able to put baits to them, so it's been a pretty good day. But now we just put out some bottom bait rods with some boilies, some sweet corn, a couple of pepper army hook baits, and we'll see what happens in the night. It's supposed to be a mild night.
Yeah.
Not a bit of cloud cover, so we'll have to see how it goes.
Can't wait for tonight.
Well, I can't wait to have that stir fry.
Okay, let's get it cooking.
Good night, and we'll see you in the morning.
Good night.
See you in the morning. Well, see you in the middle of the night with a massive fish.
Yeah.
No, Alex. Are you in, buddy? Did it? Where is it? Are you gaining line?
Yeah, that was in the PVA bag, Carl. Screaming run on a bag of monster squid boilies and just a cut down boilie on the hair. Pulled the rod into the water.
But we were close to the rod, so we could hit it quickly.
Yeah.
Well done, boy. There are a million midges on me. Yeah.
Yes!
Oh, an extravagant netting by Alex.
Oh, yes! Now the 4th fish of our session. Come on, and 1 on the bottom bait as well. That has made a truly awesome session. Even more awesome. Small, but it's a nice fish. And there's the monster squid hook bait, just really trimmed down.
Okay.
How about that? Stunning ghost carp. Just caught on a small PVA bag. Cast where I was seeing the fish. Ooh. Awesome. Back into the pads where he came from. I think we're gonna get some sleep.
Well, Alex, he's got a fish. You got a fish? Action.
Carl and I walked around the lake this morning really early. No fish in our swim, but around the other side, in some of the pads, we could see tails out the water, obviously a shoal of carp. And I just brought 2 rods round, and the one that I put really close to the pads went off. So happy with that.
Oh, it's decent, Alex.
Alright. Oh yes, what a fight that was. We eventually got that lovely mirror in the net. There we go, 16-pound carp, early in the morning. Just cast to where I was seeing the fish, bit of bait around it. What a result. I had that lovely ghosty yesterday evening just as it was getting dark. For now I'm just going to show you a rig that I caught it on and a rig that I normally use here at Tanyard. Start off with, I've just got some supple missing link braid, it's stripped back about 12 inches, give me some space to work with. And I'm just going to tie an overhand loop as the hair loop to put on my bait. There we go. Next thing I do is just get the bait. In this case I was using a bit of a cut down monster squid boilie. So be careful when threading it through. Loop on the bait. Get the bait stop. Through there. So there's the bait. So now I know how long my hair has to be. I'm going to be using a bit of silicone on the hook to make the weight over the point of the hook. So I'm just going to cut off a bit of that. Thread silicone down the braid and putting the hook on through the silicone. So now the hook's on, I can just make the length of the hair, just pulling that hook up, and that is about okay. So thread the braid through the eye of the hook, and then it's just a simple knotless knots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times round, back through the eye of the hook, and then pulling it tight, just moistening it a bit as well. And to finish the rig off completely, just another overhand loop in the end so you can attach it to your lead system. I'm using a inline lead and I've just got a quick change adapter, which means you can just tie a loop in all your hook lengths and you can really change them quickly. Thread that on, pull the lead inside the swivel so it's a bolt effect. And I've also got a few bits of putty up the main line as well, just to hold the line on the bottom, not in the way of spooking any carp. And I've got about 3 bits of that, spreading about a metre space. So yeah, that's the rig that I've had the success on this session. been a great 2 days. We've done a bit of stalking, we've done a bit of bottom bait fishing, and we've caught a few fish.
We've really enjoyed ourselves, and thanks for watching us. Mum's just on her way, but before she arrives, I think we should go and do a bit of stalking.
Yeah.
See if we can nick another one.
Yeah.
Just hold on 1 second. Show its side.
Look at that! That's my biggest ever trout from the smallest ever river that I've ever fished.
Just shows that stalking with sweet corn isn't just for carp.
Look at it.
Flores Tackle. Go to www.florestackle.com, connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, or call us on 01375 371 200. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will be happy to help.